Welcome to CenterPoint. My name is John Crisco, and I'm the host. This is where we explore where arts and sciences, spirituality, and healthy lifestyles help create culture. Today, my very special guest is Lesley Rosenthal. And Lesley Rosenthal is a violinist, a lawyer and a violinist, and a chief operating officer of Juilliard. Welcome, Lesley.
Thank you so much, John. It's wonderful to be here.
I went back and forth on which one to lead with. How does Lesley think of Lesley in the morning?
Lesley bounds out of bed in the morning to try to make the world a better place through arts, culture, and education.
Wow. That's wonderful. So you don't have that division. It's all of one cloth.
It's all of one cloth. You know, when I was 16 years old, I went back to the teacher who first put a violin in my hand. And I said, you know, I really love school, but I really love the violin. And what should I do? Should I be a lawyer or should I be a violinist? And very sagely, he said, well, you can always be a lawyer and play the violin on the side, but you can't do it the other way around.
Well, it sounds like, if I understand correctly, as I've experienced your playing, that you've transcended that duality, that you've made choices that combine both in many, many ways, because you're not just a lawyer for Acme construction company, Wile E. Coyote president. You really have engaged as a chief operating officer of the Juilliard. In the work that you've done as a lawyer and some of the other works, it's cultural and spiritual. Tell me, starting off with Juilliard and your legal work, tell me how that informs your life.
Thank you for that question. You know, I was just reflecting earlier this summer, 2025, I received the Maria Callas Medal in Verona, Italy, in recognition of contributions to cultural life. And it meant so much to me to receive an award in the name of this incredible soprano. And not because of my singing voice, I assure you, but truly because she stood for excellence. She stood for connecting with audiences. She stood for cultivating young artistry and for making sure that this incredible repertoire survives into generations and perpetuity.
And what aspects of your work qualified you for that? I mean, how do they say, oh, Lesley absolutely has to be the one to receive it? Tell us, I know you're a humble person, but tell me some of the works that you've done that are part of this award.
Well, currently I'm the Chief Operating Officer and Corporate Secretary of the Juilliard School. In that role, I am responsible for what I call the business end of the conservatory. So making sure facilities, public safety, the administration are all running smoothly, as well as artistic support for the young artists in the production areas, as well as media, live streams, and the public performance elements of it.
How do you find the time, given all the obvious pulls on your time, to keep your skills as a violinist so fresh?
You know, when something really calls you in the essence of your soul, you just make time for it. So true confessions, I don't watch a lot of TikTok videos and I don't watch a lot of television. But having a musical husband and family, our kids play music also. I grew up in a musical household, and it's just a very seamless and natural part of my life.
Well, what is a different form of the violin? I have cousins that played in various orchestras in the Midwest and quite well known in their field. I've never seen a 5-string electric violin like that. It's both a beautiful thing to observe, but the obvious thing for a non-performer is there are 5 strings here. How does that work, Lesley?
I'm going to tell you all about this. This is a 5-string electric violin. It's made by Yamaha. This is not product placement. This is just telling you about this really cool new toy that I got just in the last year or so. I got it because I started playing with a country rock band in Otis. And then at the chamber music concert that you heard me play last week, it sounds more like chamber music. So the 5th string enables violinists to cover viola repertoire and viola range that we ordinarily would not be able to cover with just 4 strings. So here's the 4 strings on a normal violin: E, A, D, G, and now we've got the C string, which provides additional opportunities for range and harmony.
Was that also providing a bridge in your own artistic development with the viola? Are you transitioning or incorporating viola playing with your concert performances?
You know, it's really interesting. Speaking of life lessons that one learns through music, I've been playing standard violin repertoire for decades, since I was 8. But to be able to play viola repertoire, to be able to have access to that fifth string, it's a whole new perspective on music that I know very, very well. Suddenly I'm playing string quartets and orchestral music and other music, and you're really developing, it's called the alto in Italian, and you're developing an alto voice where you used to think of the world as a soprano. And it's like learning a new language, and suddenly you're not just speaking the same exact thoughts in a different tongue, but you're actually learning to think in a different way too.
Well, it's not only a different voice. You mentioned Maria Callas as a soprano. Alto is a different mode of being in the world.
It's a different mode of being in the world. And we have so much to learn from each other.
Yeah.
There's also cellos and basses, and let's think about that in bigger, more metaphorical terms.
Yes, that's what I was
Like
talking
walking another mile in somebody else's shoes. It's like the philosopher John Rawls used to talk about the original position. When you're trying to figure out if something is fair, you think about if you were to set up a society with this rule that you're thinking about whether it's fair or not, but you don't know where in society you're going to be. Are you going to be at the top of the heap? Are you going to be a wealthy, well-connected person? Or are you going to be at the bottom of the socioeconomic ladder? And think about that rule and whether it's fair regardless of which of those positions in society you sit in.
Well,
when the definition.
When something is not fair, you've been known to take action. I'd like to hear more. We would like to hear more about the people that you help come out of a very difficult world situation.
Thank you, John, for that. I try to never miss an opportunity to speak about the plight of women in Afghanistan and musicians in Afghanistan. Since the Taliban took over again in 2021, they have been living under the most oppressive conditions. Musicians' instruments have been burned and smashed. They've been prosecuted for playing and physically harmed and beaten up. And the girls and women notoriously have been kept from public life. The girls have had the schoolhouse doors shut in their faces. And I could not abide. And to make a very long and harrowing story short, we were ultimately by the grace of God and a wonderful musical community around the world, to airlift all 273 members of the music school, students, staff, and faculty. It was the largest airlift of musicians in human history.
Well, they have said that all politics are local. I think all culture is local. Your involvement with TED at a local level here in Otis speaks to the idea of the importance of developing strong roots culturally. Could you tell us what you and Ted are doing here in our own community of Otis?
Certainly. I am looking forward on August 23rd at the Tanglewood Learning Institute at Ozawa Hall to moderating a conversation between two wonderful humanitarians in the cultural field. One is the MacArthur Genius Award-winning Vijay Gupta, a violinist who invented the Street Symphony, and Steve Lopez, who's a Pulitzer-nominated journalist who told the story of a Juilliard grad who had fallen on hard times and severe mental illness and became homeless in the streets of Los Angeles. And it was through Steve Lopez's writings that not only did this musician regain hope and help, but also a whole community became more aware of the challenges of mental health and homelessness and took steps to try to ameliorate it. So the cultural expressions that we leave behind, they're going to endure. The bridges that we build for each other are going to endure. We have to build strong foundations, exactly as you said.
Well,
even after our little lives pass through that continuum, what are we leaving behind? What will endure? What is beautiful? What is sacred? What is safe? What is worthwhile? What is good?
Well, I love that concept of art, culture as a gift. I love that expression of that. And it's something I'm going to hold to my heart as we move forward in these challenging times. Thank you so very much for being here, Lesley. It
Thank you, John.
was a wonderful conversation. I appreciate it.
Indeed.
Until next time, enjoy the gift of culture. Enjoy it, share it with the next person, and look for those that are not as fortunate as we are. Until next time, this is John Crisco saying goodbye.